So we're back again, me, your host, Contessa. This week on Contessa Untamed, we're going to speak about cheating, forgiveness, and what's okay and what's not. So I have our guest of the week, T, who's going to give us a little bit of male insight on, you know, the problems that we face in everyday relationships in terms of cheating, the aftermath of cheating, and what's considered cheating. So without further ado, first question I have is, what do you define as cheating? Like, what is cheating?
Personally, I believe cheating is for like married couples. You know, I believe cheating is for married couples only. Like, I don't believe that cheating is for boyfriend and girlfriend. Because as a boyfriend and girlfriend, you're still in the process of learning each other and get to know each other. So it's not a full commitment. You're trying to work towards commitment. So I don't believe there's cheating in boyfriend and girlfriend relationships.
So if you're married, that's the only way that you can cheat. What if you say we're in a relationship and then you still go out and, you know, and you have sex with somebody else? That's not considered cheating?
If y'all set them guidelines down, like if y'all set
They should be set down if you're in a relationship, right?
If you have set those guidelines down, because people don't always, communication is 100% of everything. Like, people don't communicate these things, and it's probably not.
But, okay, so if you set those guidelines, then that in a relationship, aren't these things supposed to be laid out?
I mean, if this was an ideal world, I'm sure it would be laid out. But it's not ideal, so, you know, it's not laid out. And that's what people have the problem with. Like, that's what I think most people feel. Like, I think what most people fail to realize is that, like, if you really don't talk and have this conversation, not just some conversation you have without having, these problems are always going to occur with people. Like.
Alright, so in your opinion, cheating is something that basically, if you're in an official relationship, then it's considered cheating. But can you still get mad at someone if you're dealing with them and they have sex with somebody else?
I mean,
do you have a right to get mad, like logically and like emotionally? Is that okay?
Well, I don't know if it's ever going to be logical. I don't think it's ever going to be logical. I think it's always going to be emotional. So depending on who and what you're dealing with, I think that's going to determine that situation, because most people can say, like, you know, like, these are the guidelines. Even people that believe what I believe, and they still get mad if that girl cheated. They'll still get mad. And that has a lot to do with a lot of other issues other than just being in a relationship. Sometimes it's control. Sometimes it's like, just because I didn't want you to do it, you did it. It ain't just necessarily about love or being in a relationship with somebody. So you have to understand where that person is coming from and what they mean by, you know what I mean, cheating. Because I think it's a very vague thing. Like, you know, it's very vague. Like, all right, it's cheating if a guy sees another pretty girl and gets her number and keeps communication.
That it's emotional cheating because you're contacting someone, text, email, whatever, and they're just taking up your time. You're not doing anything with this person, but you're dealing with them. So I still consider that cheating, and it's still wrong because for you on either end. So.
Whole big social network era. Like, you know, like, you be on Facebook, minding your own business. Somebody can send you a friend request. You might not even know if you know them or not. You accept a friend request.
Social networking is a big problem in relationships. Exactly. If you let it be. If you let it be, Facebook and Twitter and all of that will ruin your relationship if your relationship is not strong enough. And our guest from last week, Dr. Rose, he spoke about that as well. So this is a continuum of the issues. Cheating and third-party influences, that's not something that you can do in one week segment. So we're working on that. We're continuing that.
Without even knowing you, I knew you. Like, just say if I got a phone call that night, yo, I just met this bad girl up in Butter, and we went da-da-da-da, we da, and now me and him walking the street together, and he's like, I'm with the girl now. He's like, yo, what up? We go to the side, he told me, he's like, yo, you know that's homegirl from such and such and all that night. Like, I mean, you gotta really think about it though. It's a small world. Nobody, like, alright, just say for example, you're a female. You see this guy, he's attractive, you give him your number. You hanging out with your homegirl, you have a dinner party, he comes over and she's like, oh snap, I just was on last week and all that. How would you feel?
I would want to know the extent of their thing. If it was just a fling, then I wouldn't care. When did you let your ego down to follow your heart? Like, do men do that?
I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of married men running around here, so I'm sure they had to check the ego at the door, you know, to leave the girls alone at the club, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say it. Sure there's egoless guys out here who would do such a thing, but if you gotta remember, these are single men we probably talking about here, and they probably in the prime of their life, and they probably have this you know what I mean, I could get another one attitude, like, you know what I mean? Or I'd rather not deal with her and I'd rather deal with something else. It's more like I don't want to have nothing he had, like, you know what I mean? More like it's a competition. You gotta remember, men are very competitive. We always compete, even if we outright without competition.
It's a no-go to deal with somebody who one of your friends is dealt with seriously. You can't take that person seriously.
See, I'm only gonna speak for myself. I can't speak for everybody. I'm sure there's somebody out there.
But say that you're speaking for men. Take the voice of all men, because I can't interview all of the men in the world. There's not enough SD cards. There's not enough.
Not enough time.
There's not enough memory on anybody's computer for that. So I want you to speak for all of the men, because there's everybody. This is a question everybody wants to know. It's the age-old question. Like, it's one of those rules. And why is it so hard for men to just drop their egos to follow their hearts? Like, it's a difference. It's your heart and your ego. Which one is bigger? Which one are you willing to give up?
We gotta look at it for this whole thing like this. First of all, half the time, I hate to be the deal breaker for everyone out there. Half the time when you talking to a girl, you don't look at her and go, yo, I'm gonna marry her. And if you did, and you told her that, guess what? You wouldn't even have that opportunity. So, let's go back into this now. When you first meet someone, you're attracted to them physically. It's a physical attraction.
Yeah,
you don't know nothing about their mentality. You don't know if they're a nice person. You don't really know much about them other than their person. That's not much to start off with. You understand? And the way people communicate nowadays, you don't really have time to get to know somebody. Like, you text me. You gonna text me a little bit, you gonna call me here and there. Like, people don't. It's like, people be together for years and don't know each other. That's another big problem.
That's another thing. Get to know the person who you're sleeping with. It's very important, because you can be making some really big mistakes. It's like super important.
I agree with that. That goes both ways, guys and females. Sometimes you guys be wiping up girls and they be running around too. Like.
Okay. Now, what if time went by? Did you forgive someone who broke your heart and kind of crushed your ego?
I mean, I guess that we're gonna have to go back to being a person. Me personally, like, I try to be as egoless as possible. So, you know, when it comes to me, like, I'm very forgiving. So I think I personally can forgive somebody, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm forgiving them to the extent that we fall out again. It's just more like God tells us to forgive other people type of thing.
You'll forgive them for the sake of being a good Christian, but you won't forgive them for the sake of being with them again.
Well, I forgive them for the sake of forgiving them for God. I'm not forgiving them for the sake of God. You know, like, you don't harbor bad feelings in you because it comes outward.
So it's the ego that kind of messes everything up. Damn, y'all men and y'all egos is the worst.
Well, women have egos too.
But women have egos.
Our egos are worse.
We're designed differently. Our egos are designed differently. Like, how do you... it's so frustrating.
You gotta understand the difference in men and women.
I understand the difference, and I embrace those differences. That's why I don't get why it's so hard for men to sometimes let go of your ego. Like, what? Come on.
I'm not
I just want to choke the sense into some of y'all sometimes, because it's like, damn, like, really? Like, your ego is not gonna fucking make you breakfast every morning. Your ego is not gonna take care of you.
It's all right.
What you're gonna be left with at the end of your life is your ego, and you're gonna be old and alone, and all you're gonna have is your ego and 3 cats. So, I mean, men, y'all can, you know, be the judge of this. Like, what do you want to do? You want to have your ego, or you want to be happy? It's one or the other. You cannot have both. You can have both, but under certain circumstances. I'm not saying, oh, you have to not have an ego and you have to be this weak man. No, but makes sense. People make mistakes.
Technically, right? For that person, it might not make sense to the other person, but for that person, it makes all the sense in the world to them. You understand? Like, to them, like, everybody has different minds and we think differently. Like, so for every guy that would forgive you, there's probably 10 that wouldn't, and vice versa. So whoever makes a decision, they're actually probably feeling like it's not their ego, they're making a decision with their brain. And you gotta remember, it's depending on what situation. You know?
What if you have a history with both people, but you have an emotional connection with the woman that did you wrong? And she didn't necessarily go out intentionally do you wrong, but it happened. And she's forgiven you on multiple occasions for your bullshit. She's rationalized it, she's accepted it, and she's moved on. So,
being honest, when we take into part that a person necessarily has been forgiven for something by a same person who may have done them wrong, If that other person has more that they forgave you for, then I think for that reason, it might be you have to look into. You might have to look into forgiving the person if they're worth it. You gotta remember though, some people is not, like, y'all not really supposed to be together. As much as we make one, like, right, somebody, an old person told me this a long time ago. He said, it be somebody you might really want. You know what I mean? You think you love them with all your heart. And you think that they good for you. And it might be somebody who you like, I don't like her like that. You might think she's bad for you. But it's like God might know what's better. So something that you might think that you really, really want, it might not be for you. God might not like it for you. It might not be no good for you. Something that you think it might not be no good for you, it might be good for you. So my whole point to this is that maybe they don't feel like that's the right situation. Maybe it's bigger than just this situation. You know what I mean? Maybe they just, all right, maybe they just used it. It would have been worth it to invest in that person. As far as like emotionally, maybe go through that with that person. You understand what I'm trying to say?
So you're saying that emotional investments are key to good relationships. They're like cornerstones, building blocks.
It's definitely a big part of it. It's definitely.
Why don't men do that? They're not willing to make these emotional investments because of the ego.
But if you put that effort in, that's a big chance.
It's not about being all that somebody wants. It's about making an emotional investment. Like, you have to know what you want first off. Like, granted, now, what if you and this person, let's say you and somebody, you guys were on a break and you weren't speaking and you were at a point and you did not think you were ever going to speak again because you treated this woman so badly and she still took you back, but during that gap in your relationship, she did something. How do you, like, we weren't together. Like, what did Ross and Rachel say on Friends? We were on a break. And, like, I don't want to use them as an example because they went through hell. But look at the end result. Like, didn't they wind up together? I think. I don't remember. But I hope I'm making a good example.
She references stuff she don't even know.
Well, I mean, you know, in my mind, it's logical. Ross and Rachel should have been together. Like, come on. It's Ross and Rachel.
I think though, if it comes down, I mean, I really believe that if two people are supposed to be together, I don't believe it no matter what they go through. Like, I don't believe they're gonna not be with each other over those type of things. Like, I'm sorry, like, I believe that it's a sign that maybe, like, it's probably a big sign.
What if you guys went through these things multiple times and you still, like, came and it still wound up y'all back together? Like, the first time, the girl, the woman, she was too young for you, so then some years passed by and y'all randomly ran into each other, whatever the case is, and like, this has been a thing, like, y'all, it seems like it was either destined to happen or doomed from the start. Like, what, do you still give it a chance?
But you have to give it a chance based on which side you think you lean into. Like, if you think you lean into the side of doom, like, or you think you lean into the side of destiny, you have to really decipher which side of it. Yeah, you have to decipher which one that is, because what if it's doom? What if you think it's destiny is really doom? Like, you understand? You have to really evaluate that.
The road to hell is paved with good intentions, isn't it?
That's exactly why you should check if it's doom or not. Because meaning that the road.
But if he's not willing to give it a chance to see if it's doom, how will we know? Like,
maybe that's a big implication that it's doom. I mean, I'm just saying he's not even giving, like, he's not even having a chance. Maybe that's a big implication because, I mean, no matter if you hate somebody, you have to listen to them. You should be able to listen to them. You should be able to hear what they say or hear them out.
Now, what's the waiting period after someone stops talking to you or whatever the case is for you to give them, like, do you give them like a little safety week to see what's going to happen? Like, what do you consider is a decent amount of time, no matter what the circumstances, for someone to be able to talk to this person that they feel like has done them wrong?
I mean, you gotta, first of all, you gotta judge how wrong the situation is to how wrong they feel. Like, what if they feel it's a 10? Like, there's no way you think you could call them in a week. Like, it's a 10. Like, it's a big 10.
What if you text this person days later just saying that you were happy to see them or you would like to see them or something? Like, is that okay? Like, will you think, like, why is this bitch texting me? Like, I'm heartbroken?
Well, I don't know about the broken part, but I probably would go, why is this bitch texting me? Why is she texting me? Like, why? I'd be like, why? Like, why are you texting me? I
have a question for you. I have a friend, she has a boyfriend, and he's not doing anything with his life. He's just useless, whatever. She doesn't know how to break up with him because he's sensitive, but she doesn't want to break up with him because it's going to break his heart and all this other stuff. Like, how do you break up with somebody that you don't even want anymore? Like, like, do you wait for them to break up with you? What, have you been in this situation? What would you do? Like, how does that go?
I feel sorry for her because he sounds like he's pulling the whole if you leave me, I'll kill myself thing. And which is like,
I don't think he's doing that. It's just more like he's younger and his mind isn't there where he wants to be a man and take care of himself. So it's like, you know, I'm with you and we're just gonna be together, whatever. But she doesn't know how to break up with him.
Number one, she need to address to him her problems with him. That's number. If she's gonna be caught in between, first of all, she need to make up her mind. What does she want? If she wants to be with him, she need to address them problems with him, tell him if these don't change, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? If she wants to be with him. If not, she needs to go ahead, because at the end of the day, she doesn't want to. It doesn't make no sense to be with somebody while you're unhappy.
Don't be with someone while you're unhappy. That's such a great point. Women, they deal with men that they don't like because of money, or the man is taking care of them, or it's their child's father. Like, when do you cut somebody off when they're not right for you?
See, I believe in personal preservation. If you're not healthy and you don't feel good about being in a relationship, I don't believe you should be in it, because it's going to deter your physical health.
Really?
Right. You'll start running around. You start looking stressed. You start like that's, to me, that's what I call the early fall off. When you're dealing with somebody you don't want to deal with. I don't think that's really like. We live in America, it's a free country. I don't believe anybody should be in a relationship they don't want to be in. You have the free choice and the free right to get in or out of it. I don't feel sorry for nobody.
But what if it's a financial thing? Like, what if you're with this person because they're taking care of you? Like, but you really don't want to be with them.
Well, then you want to.
Or if you have a dude and it's your baby mother and you don't have nowhere to live and you just came home but you don't want her and you're using her crib to get this and that together and whatever. Like, if you don't want her, what do you like? What? And you don't have nowhere else to go. Would you just tough it out and stay with her because you don't want her, but you don't have nowhere else to go?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never been in that situation, but I know I'd be so unhappy with that situation. I know it'd be like toxic. It'd be like a volcano. It's gonna erupt. It's not gonna work out. Like, it's not gonna work out. I understand that you may need or you may want something, you may need something, but you gotta let the person know that's what it is with them. That way you don't feel like wrong for whatever you're doing. So you let them know what it is and you be honest with them, because if you do anything other than that, it's going to wind up getting.
So here comes honesty again. But when it's too much honesty, like me telling somebody I don't want to be with you, that's breaking your heart, but I'm being honest. So when is it okay to be honest and be like, yo, like, but honesty hurts. The truth hurts. The truth hurts. This shit kills people. Like, people's hearts break because I'm telling you the truth because I don't want to be with you, or because I stuck with this person, or whatever the case is. I'm telling you the truth, but it's hurting you. So how is that, like, when do you lie? Because I want to lie to spare people's feelings. I wish I could have lied more often to spare people's feelings.
Well, first of
but
all,
I can't take it back now.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've done both. I've lied to spare people's feelings. I've told people the honest truth. And then I'm going to be honest with you. There's no right way to go either way, because I'm going to tell you, the same problems you have for being honest, you'll have for lying. The same problems you have for lying, you have for being honest.
Because it's going to come out eventually. Right. Whatever you do in the dark comes out in the light. But it's like, damn, that it may take years for that. So am I supposed to, like, when is that okay?
First of all, I personally believe that honesty is the best policy. But you also have to...
Honesty fucks people's lives up.
All right, but you also have to deal with the person you're dealing with. You got people in this world who can take honesty. Like, you would tell them, like, yo,
I can't. I'd rather you lie to me sometimes. Lie to me a little bit.
Now, the lying, I'm not going to lie
Don't hurt I don't like for my feelings to be hurt. And I'm like, well, let me not, it's so frustrating, yo. I need 2 hours for this. I really need 2 hours because it's so frustrating. Like, the truth hurts. It's worse than it's just all right. Say if you with a person who you know they can't handle the truth, well, you need to deal accordingly. If you know they can't sit there and handle the truth, you need to deal accordingly. Like, if a girl asks you, hey, this nice on me, and you go no, and you know she gonna sit there and cry in the street, and you don't want to like deal with that, you say yes. I believe in that. I do believe in that. I'm a fan of that. But if you know in your heart of hearts it's a deep sensation in you, and you know you can't deal with it, like dealing with this fake, you don't want to deal with that no more, you will find that truth is the only way to go. Sometimes, though, you're dealing with something where you can't be truthful. But trust me. But what if you're in a situation where you know that the truth is going to hurt, but it's going to make you feel better? Just making your own self feel better constitutes you hurting somebody else's feelings and messing up a good relationship. And is it a good relationship if it was based on a lie and you've been lying to this person for a minute?
Well, honestly, we both, I think, know the answer to that. I think if we...
I don't know the answer, because I want to lie to somebody just so I can stay with them. Like, I would rather lie to you.
Well, That's deep right there because, like, all right, you lie to stay with them, but then you're gonna lose them because of it.
Because it comes out. So what's worse? Me telling you ahead of time, so I'm not playing God with your feelings,
right,
or letting you find out and make, like, it's like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. If I would have told you ahead of time, you'd have stopped fucking with me. If I'd have told you after the fact, you'd have stopped fucking with me. So what, should I just be selfish and make you fuck with me until you find out and be prepared for the, like, how dudes, they hustle and whatever the case is, you know that one day your day is coming, but you still doing what you're doing. So what's better?
So all right, now
What's
that you said that though, that leads me to believe this though. Now, all right, let's look at it from this guy's perspective. Being that you just said we know that day is coming. Now, you forgive a girl who cheated on you, right? But you also have to think that they women and maybe they using other men like their day is coming. Maybe it's like they got 5 other guys on the side sitting there. So now, once the one come out that you know about, what about the 10 that you don't know about? You see what I'm saying? So that's why sometimes it's like Pandora's box. It's like you have to judge the person you're dealing with to see how you're gonna react to that. Like, you know what I mean? Because if you know somebody's weak.
What if the person did something that they're not known for doing? What if I did something that's out of my character that you don't know me for doing, and I did it and you still stop fucking with me because of that? What if, for whatever reason, or it's something that I did that's against your moral code, but it's not something that I'm known for doing, that you don't know me for doing because you know me so well? Do you take this person back? I
mean, you just knew them well. You just knew them well and they did something you didn't even expect out of them. Then that goes back to play with your own psyche, that how well do I know this person? You look, you gotta just
damn,
say, see what I'm saying? So that's like, this even kind of complicates the issue even more because I knew this person, they did this which they don't do, and now I don't know them no more.
Down and they
I believe loyalty is important.
They looked out for you, they was loyal to you,
that's important.
Everything.
That's important.
And they made one mistake and you stopped fucking with them.
I'm gonna be honest, like I can't be in that situation because I'm gonna be honest with you. If it was me, like, I'm gonna deal with T. He's in a relationship with somebody who's loyal to him, that loves him, that cares for him, that would give him anything he wanted, and they are human beings and they made a mistake. Well, I mean, I might have to deal with that situation accordingly. This is a person that they done built up so much bank with me that a little mistake like that, I can't ride on that.
All right, so they built a good foundation of trust and of love and of affection, and they made. But what if this mistake was colossal? Like, it was a colossal thing.
See, now we using words like colossal now.
Like, damn, like,
a colossal mistake.
I want to take it to the extreme.
Hold on, okay, because a colossal mistake could maybe mean that it's unrectifiable. It maybe mean that I cannot, like,
which again goes into, if it's not meant to be, it's not going to happen. And that's just what it is. Like, no matter what we say, what we do, if it's not supposed to happen, if you're not supposed to cross that street, you're not going to cross that street. If you're not supposed to get that job, you're not going to get the job. If you're not going to have his baby, you're not going to have his baby. Exactly. Like, if it's not meant to be, it's not going to happen. But it's like, damn.
It still hurts though. In the meantime, you hurt. In the meantime, like, you trying to find a way to pick up the pieces. But I guarantee you, trust me, there's somebody else out there. There's plenty more of them out there. And I'm gonna guarantee you,
they're not here right now, though.
They're not.
They're not here right now.
They're not. And right now is probably like you
right
said,
now
like,
is what matters. We living in the moment. Like, yo.
But now that you bring that we living in the moment statement back up, it's very vital that you enjoy your life. Like, that's what I mean. Like, bad relationship, good relationship, out of a relationship. It's all about you. It's all about that inner love. Like, you have to find what makes you happy. Like, you have to do what you love. Like,
how does the whole life plan and everything play into when it comes to people who have separated getting back together? Like, do you think that if it's meant for somebody to be with somebody, it's gonna happen regardless, or do you just have that 1 or 2 shots, or 3 strikes and you're out? Like, what's your view on it?
I believe that anything in this world that is meant for you, you will never lose it. Anything in this world that's not for you, you will never get it. So if it's for you, you will always have it. If it's not for you, you will never get it, no matter how hard you try, no matter what you do.
So if it's meant for you to be with somebody who you feel like did you wrong or whatever the case is, it'll happen, but is it, I can't even, like, some people, like women, we're very impatient. So when something happens, it's like, oh my God, it's the end of the world, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But if it's meant to be, it's supposed to happen. Like, I know that it's all part of the whole blueprint of life, and if we had the blueprint, we would mess it up. Like, we would use it to manipulate other people's lives.
Of course.
We would use it to make this person the father of this person's baby, and make this person's mixtape drop, and this person's album pop, and go to this party and get this check. And we're not supposed to have these blueprints and know what's gonna happen with life. But when is it okay? Like, if it's meant to happen, it's gonna happen. But when do you give up?
Well, frankly, me personally, I don't believe in giving up. You know, quitting is for quitters. You know, it's for losers. You know, I ain't with the quitting thing. But you gotta know when to have space from something, and it will show itself to you. Like, you know, you have to believe that, especially in a certain relationship, but in a breakup or something, or something that went wrong. Both parties have to just cool out and see what they want. You will know if you're supposed to be with that person, because first thing you have to do is just try not to want to be with that person. Like, literally, just do you.
Ladies, that's what I do all of the time with shoes. Like, if it's a pair of shoes and I'm not sure about them, I'll leave them at the store, and I'm like, yo, if I go back to the store and those shoes is there, then they mine. Or if they just fit me perfectly. Like, when something is for you, you feel it. If it's not for you, you'll forget about it. It's not supposed to. It's not for you. And you know, oh, I have to have these no matter what, whatever the case is. But if it's meant for you to have it, you'll have it. And I mean, I'm so thankful for T giving me this insight, because, and I was saying that yesterday, like, yo, if it's not meant for you to be with somebody, if it's not meant for you to have that job or have that house, that door closed because another one is gonna open. You may get double doors that's gonna open. So we cannot stress ourselves out and be upset, ladies and gentlemen, about something that may not particularly have been for us in the first place. And I didn't see that earlier because I was so, like, I was getting so much feedback from my friend who's going through this situation where she cheated on the guy that she was with. And I mean, if it's meant to happen, it's gonna happen. This is all laid out in the cards. It's all part of the blueprint. We don't see it because it's not for us. I mean, I don't know. It's just so, it can be very upsetting when you're not getting that instant thing that you want. We're humans, we're selfish, and we're into instant gratification.
Yes. And
when we don't get what we want, we go crazy. You either calm down or you just wild out. Like, and it's like, you know, you're being watched. This person that you're so in love with, or whatever the case is, they may not necessarily, you may not necessarily know that they're watching you, but they're watching you. So you have to live your life like a camera's always on you, because live the life like the camera's always on you. Guys, thanks again for tuning in to this week of Contessa Untamed with our special guest T. I'm very excited. I got some awesome insight, some great input, and it's put my mind and my heart at ease. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for next week's show. We're going to be in for another treat. Thanks for watching.